after the calls. They're fun too. Uh, glad you like that, David. So welcome everybody to the official Triple R247 podcast. This is episode number 1. You're gonna love it. This is what we do. It's a Tuesday night. All the big announcements, everything you need, all the goodness is going to be given to you on Tuesday nights. It's the most important night of the week. Anything new being added to the system, any products, any services, any tools, anything to help you build, grow, make more money, hit your goals, whatever it is, go to another country, it'll always be added on a Tuesday night. Never any other night of the week. We'll launch it on Tuesday, talk about it on Saturday. What else happens on Tuesday nights? You're going to meet some great people, that's for sure. You're going to meet a lot of the leadership. We're going to introduce you to at least one more member of the leadership team every Tuesday night. And of course, you'll get to hear from Rory and or Tanya at the same time or one or the other. But we also get to meet all the brand new people. Every single week, there's somewhere between 10 and 30 brand new people joining the team. And that's a beautiful thing to see. Why are we growing like that? Because we're doing everything right. We're doing everything the right way. Rory created the whole pay it forward atmosphere for us to live the pay it forward lifestyle. And we love what we're doing, and it shows. We protect the house. We're building a business that's going to stay here for all of you for many, 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 many years. Actually, something you can pass on to future generations. But we love meeting all the new people every Tuesday night. That's why we get in here a couple minutes early. But if you're brand new, guess what? And I'm going to be looking for somebody here in a minute. If you're brand new or you're just getting back because you left for a little while to take care of that thing called life, click on that little microphone or hold down the space bar on your keyboard and say hello. Don't forget to say where you're calling in from, what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the call.
Hello, my name is Donette Willie. I'm calling from Lithia, Florida. And I join your team.
How are you, dear? Good to see you.
I am doing fine. Thank you. Same here.
When is our next appointment? I'll look that up. I'm glad you made it on.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
That's right.
Tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
Lithia, Florida. Actually, not too far from me. Maybe about an hour drive, which is pretty cool. I love here in Florida. Floridians sound off. Everybody sound off. We love every state in the union. So if you're brand new, click on that little microphone or hold down the space bar on your keyboard. Say hello. Don't forget to say what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the call. All right, she unmuted, so I know everybody can unmute.
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Where are you calling in from?
Pretty good, Florida.
Florida's here. Look at that, Linda, 2 in a row. I'm loving it. Motorola, what's your name? We didn't catch your name.
Travis John.
Travis. Glad you made it, Travis. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
I hope I spell your name right, but I'm just going to put it there instead of Motorola. How's that? Fantastic. All right, welcome everybody to the episode number 1 of the Triple R 247 podcast. This is going to be our weekly podcast. And it might turn out to be a couple times a week. I'm not sure yet, but it's at least episode 1 of the Triple R 247 podcast. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the life. Welcome to the family. Tuesday nights are big night. This is when we're going to make all the announcements. Like we're doing episode 1 of the Triple R 247 podcast. Anything that Rory and Tanya are going to add to this system to help you hit your goals, expand into other countries, make more money, learn the whole system faster, get your pages done, get applied for Google AdSense, or put more products and services on your site so that you can market more things and make more money. Anything that they're going to do, they're going to add to the system, enhance the system, make the system better. It'll always be launched and talked about for the first time on a Tuesday night. Never any other night of the week, Tuesday night. Then he'll do some in-depth training on Saturday. But as you seen a couple of seconds ago, we love meeting all the brand new people. There's somewhere between 10 and 30 brand new people every single week joining the team because we have great momentum, because we're doing great things. So if you're brand new, we want to hear from you. Whoever got you here, they'd love to know that you made it on. Roy and Tanya would love to hear your voice and state you're calling in for the first time. So click on that little microphone if you're new in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, or hold down the space bar on your keyboard. Say hello, and don't forget to say what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the call.
Hello.
Hello, Monique. Where are you calling in from?
Yes, I'm calling from Waco, Texas.
Waco, Texas, in the house. Thank you, ma'am. Glad you
Yes.
made it. Welcome. There you go. Made Stacy's day. Texas is here. All right, where's everybody else at? If you're brand new, just like those ladies did, and gentlemen, Travis, click on the little microphone in the lower left-hand corner or hold down the space bar on your keyboard, say hello, and don't forget to say what state you're calling in from, and welcome to the podcast. All right, let's let that bunch of people in. People are still coming in pretty fast. As we get closer and closer to the top of the hour, that's when everybody is going to be coming in hot and heavy. So you might not get a chance to say hello once that big crowd gets in here. So if you haven't had a chance yet, you want to say hello, don't be shy. Let the person who got you here know that you made it on okay. Click on the microphone or hold down the space bar on your keyboard and say hello. Don't forget to say what state you're calling in from.
Whoops.
Go ahead, Judith. Where are you calling in from?
Antioch, Tennessee,
Tennessee.
right
Tennessee.
outside of Nashville.
Right outside of Nashville. Thank you, man. Welcome. Glad you made it.
Thank you. Gregory Poe.
Fantastico. Fantastic. Greg is a great guy.
He's wonderful. I just
Yes,
really
he is.
appreciate him. I appreciate him.
Yep.
And
Well,
thank
we're
you
glad
for
you made it, Judith. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the call. Let's let some other people say hello. Thank you, ma'am. Glad you made it. Go ahead, Beth.
No, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong button.
It's okay. I seen you on mute, so I thought you were trying to say hello. Anybody else? All right, fantastic. So I'm going to say it one more time. Welcome, everybody, to episode 1 of the RRR247 podcast. You're gonna hear some great things tonight. You're gonna meet some great people. We got a lot of stuff going on. I know Rory said earlier he's got some great things to share with you tonight. This is our most important night of the week. This is kind of like our office meeting in this podcast on Tuesday nights, right? Because all of the important announcements happen tonight. Anytime Rory and Tanya are going to add something to the system to help you grow, help you make more money, help you hit your goals, help you work more efficiently on your system so that you can get it out there faster, go into another country, whatever it is, a product, a service, or a tool. They're going to add that on Tuesday night, never any other night of the week. And then they'll train in depth on Saturday for a couple of hours. But we also love meeting all the new people. And I'm going to say last call because we got 1 minute left. One more time, if you're brand new, whoever got you here would love to know that you made it on. Rory and Tanya want to hear your voice, saying hello and introduce yourself. And we like seeing all the different states being represented as well. So if you're brand new, click on that microphone in the lower left-hand corner. If you don't have a microphone, say hello in chat and tell us where you're calling in from. Linda's watching chat for me. And welcome to the call. Nothing in chat, Linda?
I'm not sure if Michael's new or not, but it's Michael from Chicago, Illinois.
We're gonna assume you're new, Michael. So welcome to the call. Glad you made it.
And I'm not sure about Robin Tackett. That name sounds familiar from Michigan.
Not familiar to me. So welcome, Robert. Glad you made it. We'll assume they're new. Assuming they're new is better than not saying hello and welcome them, right?
Hey, Niall, this is Cindy from Victoria, Texas.
Cindy from Victoria, Texas. Welcome, ma'am. Glad you made it. Go ahead, Inez.
Yes, Inez from Sinton, Texas is by Corpus.
By Corpus Christi. Cool. Yep.
Yes.
Two more from Texas. How about that? You got Stacy smiling. That's 3. I think we got 3 or 4 people from Florida and 3 or 4 people from Texas. Love seeing it. But where's the rest of the country? We know you're here. We're building in every city and every state in this country. We're excited for Texas and Florida for sure, but I know there's more out there. Where's the rest of the countries? And Linda's looking for that one brand new person from Ohio. Where are you at? So if you're brand new, click on that little microphone or hold down the space bar on your keyboard. I've got to do last call, and welcome to the call. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit some buttons over here. People are still coming in pretty steady though, aren't they?
Hello.
Hey, Sonny, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Sunny from California.
California's in the house. Thank you, sir. Glad you made it.
Yep. I'm from Central Coast in Santa Maria.
Fantastic. Beautiful. We're glad you're here. Glad you made it. All right, I'm gonna have to hit some buttons because it's 9:01 now. Sorry about that. And we've got to get going. So I'm gonna hit that button, then I'm gonna hit that button, and we're gonna get going tonight. We have everybody co-hosted that we need co-hosted. Look for Melissa, Rory, please. Let's get Melissa on here. It's Gable. So welcome everybody to the RRR247 podcast. This is episode number 1 of the new podcast that's going to be going out all the time. There's a lot of great things happening. We've got a lot of great things to share with you. If you're brand new, you're in the right place at the right time. Listen, I've been in this industry for 34 years now. I've worked with Rickards for 30 of those 34 years. It's never been as good as it's been right now. And it's a really exciting time. All the things that we have at our fingertips that you're about to have at your fingertips or have been working for a few days. It's just mind-boggling sometimes how good it is. So I've been in the industry I've worked with them for 30 years now. I'm an ex-carpenter who used to build homes in Western New York. Hurt my back, went back to school as an adult, 29 plus years old. Be an aviation mechanic to get my associate's degree in avionics. And it was while I was in school, though, that I was introduced to this industry. I did finish school. I got through that, 16 credits a semester for 6 semesters with a wife and 2 kids and trying to do as much side work as I could. I graduated. I went to work at the airport. And I was only there for about 8 months, and I made the big decision to let that career go, even though I just paid a bundle of money to get that education and that license. And I entered this industry full time, and now it just changed my life. It turned my life in a completely different direction. I went from that dad who was hardly getting to see my kids growing up, working 16, 17, 18 hours a day sometimes, to the dad who was there to put them on the bus in the morning, to get them off the bus in the afternoon, go to every football practice, go to every volleyball practice, even went to some of the cheer camps with one of my daughters when she was at cheer camp. And yep, I was that silly dad on the sideline with the pom-poms, just having a blast, spending more time with my kids. And you know what? When the high school needed a bowling coach, I raised my hand and became the bowling coach. Well, why? Because I could. I loved the bowl. I already had my ABC card, and 2 of my kids wanted to be on, learn how to bowl and get on the team and do travel league. So I did. It gave me even more time to spend with my kids. That was the biggest blessing for me as a dad. I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. We missed so much of that, the children growing up sometimes. And that was a big blessing for me. But so it opened up doors I didn't know existed. It didn't, or even going to be possible. It allowed me to meet people I never would have met as a carpenter, building homes or turning a wrench on the aircraft. And it allowed me to meet people in other countries the same way. So it's been a big blessing for me, but it allowed me to spend more time with my kids. It gave me 2 things that I'll cherish forever: time freedom, my kids, right? And travel in the world, do whatever I want to do, and financial freedom. I didn't have to go on vacations anymore and just swipe the credit card as many times as I could to make sure the kids had fun, and then go home and open the bill and go, oh my goodness, I can't believe I spent that much money on a vacation. I never worried about that again. Actually, a couple of years into the business, I had an accountant getting all my mail, and he'd open up the credit card bill and pay it for me. Then I would just sign off on all that stuff at the end of every month. Life was good, but it was good because of this industry. I knew the day I walked away that it was the right decision. I felt it in my heart, and I've been here ever since. I met Rory first when I was young in the industry, and I needed a voicemail. They sent me, or they told me to go talk to Rory Rickard to get the voicemail that I needed. So that's what I did. I called up. I got this young man on the phone, and he had all this wonderful energy and excitement, and just the happy kind of guy that wanted to know how he could help you. And I told him what I was looking for. He set me up with the voicemail that I needed. I could advertise all over the country in the top 300 newspapers if I wanted to, all at the same time. He could handle all the load I needed to throw at it. But the magic happened when he told me what else it would do. As I build a network of people around the country, and I'm talking 25, 30, 35, 40,000 people, I can put a message on that system and shoot it out to all of them at the same time. And I know Inez and some of the younger people right now are going, we do that every day, Niall. But what you missed was this was in 1990 to 1992. We didn't have the internet back then. We didn't have cell phones. And I laugh about this, but I don't even think I had a pager yet back then. But we had this young kid named Rory Rickard with that techie mind and the phone company, and he built a system like that through Ma Bell, I say, right? But when the internet came out in 93, 94, Rory hopped online. He really found his niche. That's really when he found his playground and the thing he loved to do, and that's online marketing. The first thing he was going to do was service all of the entrepreneurs all over the world now that needed what? To build our businesses, we needed leads. Rory became the #1 lead generation company on the internet. Hands down, #1 on the internet. Nobody could do what this guy knew how to do when it came to creating leads. And he still holds that title today. Nobody out there can touch what he's doing. The second thing we needed was websites. So Roy decided he was going to try his hand at building websites, right? And there was other people out there doing these things. There were lead generation companies, or the stuff they were selling was junk, or it was old, or it was resold 3-4 times. There were website builders out there, and they would get people to the website. They would get maybe 1 in 50 people finished going through the website and filled out a form that wanted to be contacted and said, "Yes, I'm interested. Please call me." And the really, really good ones were getting like 1 in 25, right? The people that filled out that form at the end and said they wanted to be contacted. Rory built his very first website. He got 1 in 10. He just blew everybody else out of the water. We thought that was great, but guess what? It wasn't good enough for him. He tweaked it a little bit, made some changes, and he got it down to 1 in 5. Nobody, I'm telling you folks, nobody knows how to do what this guy knows how to do. He's very, very good at it. I got to meet him for the first time in Miami. That's when I wasn't over the telephone anymore, building a great relationship. I went down to Miami, stood in his presence, shook his hand, looked in his eyes, and I went, "This is the guy I want to know for the rest of my life. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know where this is going, but I want to know this guy for the rest of my life," because he's one of the good guys, right? He's one of the people that look in your eyes the whole time you're talking to that, because he wants to hear every word you're saying. He wants to know how can he have a positive impact on your life, and he wants to hear what you're saying so he can get the right answer for you. That's one of the good guys. So after meeting him, and I knew I was going to know him for the rest of my life, this was 30 years ago. I got to fly out to Utah a couple years later, meet his wonderful wife and his partner and co-founder here at RRR247, and that's Tanya Ricker. And I walked in the front door and I met this young lady raising 7 kids. Yep, 7. 6 of them played football. Get that. I had one that played football. That drove me crazy busy, right? She had 6 playing football, and all their friends used to come over and she'd take care of them too. Plus, she was running several other businesses that she's had for years, and she was helping Rory get this built and train the people that he was bringing in, helping stay organized and everything, because she's an extremely organized person. And when you're running several businesses and raising 7 kids and helping Rory, you have to be a very organized person. She's the one that kept everything on time. Watch Linda and Stacy's face. Tanya plans out everything, every minute of every hour, every day, every week, every month. She's actually got things planned for 2 years down the road, right? And it's all going to happen on time because that's what she does. I realized right away, the first meeting of these two, a power couple. They complement each other perfectly with their skill sets. There was nobody else out there like them. And I knew they were going to be a legend in this industry. And here we are 30 years later, and I was absolutely right. They're incredible human beings, but they are becoming legends in this industry. But nobody, I'm going to tell you, nobody, and you can look for the next 5 years if you want to, nobody is doing what they're doing. Nobody has a system like they have. Nobody invests into you like they do. You won't find it. So what they've done, they took their dream, their passion, help other people, and they built a team of leadership all around them. People that heard their vision, their dream, their love, fell in love with it themselves and decided, I want to pay it forward too. I want to take this to the rest of the world. I've met almost every single one of this leadership team that you're going to be meeting. Go check the YouTube channel for some of the older or previous Tuesday nights, and then make sure you don't miss any more Tuesday nights, and you'll be meeting the rest of that team. I've met almost every single one of them except for 2. And I'm gonna make it a goal this year to meet both those people. The one I'm gonna introduce to you tonight, she's a sweetheart, but she's very serious. She's fun and she's always smiling, but she's a hell of a businesswoman. She's an extremely busy person, helping her husband run a ranch and taking care of everything that it takes to run a whole ranch. Yet she's on here building her business, helping her students, seeing if there's anything else she can do inside there. I think there might be a chance for cousins. I'm not sure. Through her husband that she married into. I got to check out that last name. And I love to joke with her about that because I don't really think we're cousins. I just like saying that because she's good people. As you start working your way into this business, you're going to work on your pages first. You're going to get Google AdSense because you finished your pages right by following the steps, following directions, and listening to your instructor. And then you're going to start building your teams inside. When you start building your teams inside, that means you're gonna get students that you're gonna help work on the pages and do that stuff that you just did, right? And as you start getting more and more students, when you get 10 of them, you're gonna become a certified system instructor. More things are gonna open up to you, and then you'll become a gold system instructor. Then you'll work up and become a platinum system instructor, and then you're gonna work up and become a master system instructor. The person I'm going to introduce you tonight has been here that long. She's helped that many people on top of everything else that she does in her world. And she's not just a master senior instructor. She helps Rory with training calls on other nights of the week. Like last night, if you guys were around, you might have heard her. But she gets in here and does everything needs to be done. And then it's just she's got that infectious smile that you guys are going to see. So without any further delay, I want to introduce to you one of the leadership that Rory and Tanya have on this team to help you build your business and help protect the house. MSI, Melissa Gable, where are you at? The microphone's yours. And yeah, you are on my goal list to meet this year, one way or another, face to face.
I was just discussing that with my husband last night or the night before. We have a goal, you guys. We have cattle and we have crops. So that makes it like a 24/7 kind of deal. So when we look at the weather, it's like maybe June and we're like, hey, we can get out of here for a couple days. We pack up and we leave like that. The weather's favorable. We're caught up enough to do what we're going to do and we go. So, but we were discussing that someday, maybe when we sell our cattle, I told them how much I wanted to meet y'all. So there's hope, you guys.
or when you pack up just to go for a couple of days, Florida is a lovely destination.
Well, retirement has us wanting to hit every state in the United States, like little pickup and camper, and we just drive. Like that's our goal when we retire. So, yeah, it should be fun. But anyway, yes, thank you for the lovely introduction. I am Melissa, and I'm from the very cold state of South Dakota right now. Oh my gosh, we didn't have school today, you guys, because the wind chill was almost 50 below. They called school off, period. So yeah, it's interesting. And we had a couch delivered today. Those poor delivery people. I didn't want to be them today. It was really cold outside. But anyway, yeah, I've been here for 8.5 years now. It's crazy to believe that in August it'll be 9 years and next year is going to be 10 years. Like time slips by so fast. My kids were it seemed like so little when I first started. They're now 27, 21, and 15, and they were all little in school yet. And here we are. And when I came into this business, since I am married to a rancher farmer, we live way out in the middle of nowhere. Driving to town every day to go to work just didn't make sense, especially when our kids were little and stuff, and putting on all those miles to go back and forth. It just didn't make sense because we don't have hired help here. We are a small mom and pop shop. We do everything here. God bless my husband. He's one of the hardest workers I know. He just keeps going and going and going and hardly ever complains. So when we moved here, it was about, and this is his family farm. We were blessed enough that we were both living in town at the time right before we got married, and my father-in-law asked if we wanted to take over the farm, and neither one of us hesitated to say yes because we're both born and raised farm kids. I was raised on a dairy farm, so I said as long as it's not a dairy, I'm game. But if it's a dairy, forget about it. I'm not going. But I did miss the country, and so I was glad to get back into the country. But when we moved here, I was a massage therapist because before we came here, I worked at a chiropractic clinic. I was a chiropractic assistant, a massage therapist, and an x-ray tech all at the same time. I did all the inventory for the vitamins and braces and all that kind of stuff. And I loved that job. It was very versatile and I got to do lots of different things. And I did like that job, but I loved being here to be a mama and a wife even more. People laugh at me when I tell them I am living my dream. My dream job was to be a wife and a mom and to have kids and raise kids and stuff. So, but I did want to help out, financially, just to pay the insurance or the, some of the bills in the house, stuff like that. Because of course, when you're self-employed, those things just all right on your shoulders. So there's no benefits that come with it. So that's what I was seeking, was to make a few extra $100 a month just to help ease the burden a little bit. And I looked for many, many years and went through lots of different junk that wasn't good. And I think people kind of think I'm joking when I say this, but I literally said a prayer. And I said, God, if there's something out there that will allow me to continue staying home and raising my kids and still, bring in income, you need to show me now, because this is the last time I'm going to look. This is the last time I'm going to ask. And I sat down and lo and behold, here was this thing, pay $97, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what's it going to hurt one last time? And back then, that was almost 9 years ago, the whole system was a lot different than it is now. And so I just kind of dove in. I was a self-starter. I didn't have a menu. I didn't have pages. I had a blank canvas. So I went to work and I followed the 2 videos there were and just rewound and watched them over. If it would have been like a VCR tape or a cassette tape or any sort of tape, I'd have probably broke it, like worn it out, because of how many times I rewound it and paused it and watched it and paused it until I got it. And I think it was a few months into it, actually. I was talking to Edison first, Rory's son, and one day my phone rang and there was that voice, that big booming voice and that laugh. And it was Rory. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, you're the dude in the videos. I said, you're calling me right now. And so, I mean, that was that. The rest is history. But to this day, side note, when my 15-year-old daughter, who's kind of been raised here with RRR247, when she hears Rory laugh, she can be in another room and I'll hear her go, oh, Rory, that Rory laugh. Loves it just as much as the rest of us. So, so this is interesting, you guys, because anybody who knows me knows how shy I am. I'm a wallflower. This business not only allowed me to build a business and bring in money from home, but it has changed me and helped me grow in so many ways I can't even explain. It's more than a business. It's a personal development system as well. I mean, you've got these amazing people around you to train you and to cheer you on, and getting forced to be in front of a camera when you're not a camera person and then being forced to talk in front of people when you'd rather sit in the back of class and hope nobody calls your name. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I remember the first time I answered a Goya call, the first time my phone rang, I almost threw up and passed out. I was so nervous. And I think I didn't answer it. I froze. I didn't answer it. And then I got better and better and better. And so my words of encouragement are, if you're new and you're scared and you're shy, it's okay. We all start there. And I'm about the shyest person on the planet. So if I can do this, anybody can do it. It's amazing. So with that said, that's kind of my story, just a little bit about me. I will get to meet everybody someday. I promise. I hope, because you guys are so amazing. I love you guys so much. And I'm so thankful to be here. So without further ado, I think, am I introducing Rory himself tonight? The man, the myth, the legend. Here he is, Mr. Rory Rickard. Thank you so much for being my mentor and just pushing me out of the nest and out of my comfort zone more times than I can count. I love you and appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much, Melissa. And guys, am I moving okay? Is it like, okay, it was frozen for a second there. I'm good. Okay. I love hearing her story, but you guys, Melissa's grown so freaking much, and her confidence, everything. And now, I mean, you got a huge team now.
Can I say this is the first night in 8.5 years I've come live without everything written out word for word? Nothing. I just came and like just did it on a whim. That's huge.
That right there shows you where you're at, right? And that, that's one of the things that we get to do when we establish these business roles. I mean, everybody, you guys are all going into business, and we get to take people that have no business background or as much as they have, whatever, like, and we get to develop them into what becomes a really good partner. And that's why these trainings we do are so important, because we're investing into you to establish and raise you up so that you can get the most out of this. I'll tell you a shocking secret. And actually, we have a lot of the same mentors in going back to ways, and Niall, you bring up the Jim Rohn stuff all the time too, but Jim would say something about your income, right? And Melissa, for whatever reason, when you were going through this and explaining, telling your story, the Jim Rohn quotes just came flooding at me, right? Just flooding at me. And Niall, you know which one I'm going with, right?
Well, there's two that I can think of, but it's probably do the uncomfortable till it becomes comfortable. That would fit Melissa pretty good. And those who stick around.
It's actually another one. And it's flooding to me because, and I'm just bringing that up there because Melissa's team's building, and I'm watching numbers on my side, and Jim Rohn asked you, like, how much do you want to make, right? You remember this quote?
Yeah, that's I didn't want to interrupt you, but that was the next one. Yep.
You have so I heard Jim Rohn do this with people in closed doors and small meetings, and he did it with you. So I want you to share this because Melissa, I need you to hear this.
I wish it was a closed door that day. It probably would have been less embarrassing, because the first thing he asked me was, so you're here to build your business? You want, what exactly you're here for? I said, learn how to earn more money. And he said, well, how much money do you want to earn? I said, a lot. And then I heard a lot of people laughing because I said a lot and I didn't have a number. And he said, well, you got to actually, it's hard to get a lot, and a lot means something different than everybody else, but what is the number? How much do you want to earn? So I thought about some of the big goals I had and what I want to do. And I said, I want to make $20,000 a month. And he goes, okay. And he pretended to be writing it down. And he goes, well, how are you going to do that? And I went, I thought I was here to learn that from you. You were going to teach me how to make that. And the Jim Rohn laugh, Melissa, is, you can tell that from 3 buildings over as well, just like Rory's. He had a very distinct laugh that was just contagious. It was great. He started laughing at that laugh of his, and he goes, I'm just kidding with you. I'm going to tell you exactly how to get to $20,000 a month. And I was so pumped up. And I'm like, I'm getting the secrets from this billionaire philosopher that's in here teaching everybody. And I got my pen and I'm ready to go. And he goes, become someone who deserves $20,000 a month. And that was it. And I wrote it down, but I was ready to leave at that moment going, okay, this guy's full of it. This don't even make sense. Become somebody who deserves $20,000 a month. And I didn't leave though, and I stayed there for the rest of that seminar. And before it was over, all the pieces came to me. And what he was talking about was personal development. And I think that's where Rory wanted me to go, personal development.
And I can tell you from, my history of being around, if you don't develop your partners, if you don't invest in their training, you don't invest into them, you're not going to get what you want to get. Because making the money isn't just about doing the service and doing the sales to make it happen. It's all the knowledge around it, and also all the knowledge to basically be a leader in anything. Like if you look around, and I mean, and the thing is I'll bring up some stuff and I'll try not to go political, but you look at Elon Musk, And that guy is definitely very unique. He's got an incredible skill set. And I've been studying him for a long time because you're watching what he creates. And then and I don't know if you guys all know this, but he created PayPal. But the team that created PayPal, they're all like multi-billionaires. They're like they founded, they're the founder of LinkedIn. There's like the founder of this and that, and like Ethereum, all sorts of things. These are all this think group that went and created massive things. And you're like, well, there's going to be a methodology there. Well, there's a lot that he gets to learn how to do. But when he goes into his companies, he shows up and just solves their biggest problem. What's your biggest problem? I'm going to solve it. And then he comes back the next week and solves another one. So he basically solves 52 problems in every business he runs every year as a CEO. And I look at that, and I try to tailor what can I do as a CEO role in what we do here, and that's solve the biggest problems, right? Get rid of all the friction points. And the reason why I bring this up there is even at that high level, there's a lot of development that took place with Elon Musk over the years. He was around the right people constantly and learning from other mentors constantly. He didn't just start out that way, right? None of us do. And I look at all the self-development that I've put myself through, that I've been blessed to go through, and it's created who I am today. And what we're trying to do is pay that forward and build up everybody with that in this community. And I go over this because, as Melissa, as you're growing and as you're developing, I'm bringing it back to you now. As you're growing and developing, you're bringing these teams on, and your growth, you're sharing your growth and paying it forward to your team. And it shows, it reflects, it shows exactly that you're learning because you're raising people up and you're overcoming those challenges that you once had. You like sometimes I listen to you and you're like, you just breeze through the issues that used to be so stressful for you. You're just like, no big deal. Yeah, we got this. We'll just do that. And I'm like, this is what it's about. And as you're doing that, the leadership elevates you and you start becoming that person that's worth more and more money. So you are going to attract it because you're going to attract the bigger team involvement. You're going to attract the right people doing the right things because you've got the skills to handle it and the growth for it. And I guess I really wanted to bring that up today because, we've got this millionaire course that I do on Tuesdays, right after this training. And I've had a lot of conversations about it. I know I appreciate all the feedback. But the number one thing that I want to stress is I want people to know that as you're building your team, as you're doing what we teach you to do, we owe it to you to invest even more into you to help raise you up so that you can build, sustain, retain, and grow. And it doesn't just happen. And whenever I see, I guess I'll call them issues, for lack of a better word, usually they're personality issues. I know that's a moment for growth for everybody. We are an absolute 100% people business. Everything else is secondary. Everything else. The PBS, the anchors, even the marketing, everything is secondary to us building a personal relationship with our teams. It's without the relationships, without it's a partnership. It's growth together. And I can tell you, there is no way we would have this today if I hadn't walked the walk that I went through from a very young age, traveling around the world with the Jim Rohns and so many other motivational speakers and people that were doing this for a living to help raise people up and paying it forward to me. And when I learned how to deal with all sorts of issues and problems and not just on the business side, but especially on the people side. And I'm going to, I wanted to really, let me show you guys this. Hold on. Melissa, did you see the new core value logo that Daniel did for us?
Yes, I saw that on Facebook today. I loved it. That was really, really nice.
So this will tell you how busy I've been. That's been done for a month. And I totally saw it and I forgot about it because I was like so busy. And then I was on today and we're going through things. And I'm going to talk about this briefly, let you guys know what's coming. And he goes, so did you like that graphic? I'm like, what graphic? He goes, that one you begged for, you had to get it right away. And he goes, I worked on it forever and I sent it over to you. I'm like, which graphic? He's like, the core value one. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I put it up right away and I pushed it out there. But I got to tell you guys, this is something I really need to focus on with you guys, on everybody. We have a lot of new people here that, I haven't had this talk with. It's all part of the things. And I'm gonna share it. Hold on. It's on our step one. Here, hold on. Let's see. It's a cool spreadsheet. Gotta be careful not to show the CRM too long. Okay. It's right here on the RRR247.com/RR on the first. It's our core value page. There's the graphic right there. So, we strive for awesomeness in everything we do. We love everyone, and it's all spelled out, right? We are family. And this rocket ship just really, he was like trying to put it as a picture. I didn't know what I wanted. I wanted to update it, and we got it. So here it is. But you guys, we strive for awesomeness in everything we do. We love everyone. And I mean that love where we're gonna help carry everybody through. We're gonna help talk everybody off the ledge. We're gonna be there to support them. Because you guys, this is challenging stuff. This is stuff you never would have learned anywhere else. And sometimes it pushes your comfort zone to, I'll be blunt. I mean, I've had a lot of people break down and cry. I've had people think they can't do things because it gets frustrating. You just got to be there and be patient. Everyone can do what we have as long as we're there to guide them through it and have the patience to get on with them and do the screen shares. And then once they learn it, so awesome. I'm going to pause for 1 second here and go, the biggest moment as an instructor is when that student has the light bulb goes off and they're like, oh my gosh, I get it now. That's the best moment ever. Because then you're like, okay, now you see how great this is and how it works. And some people see it right away. Some people don't see it until they're like halfway through modifying their system. And some don't see it until they get paid for something that came in that they weren't even aware of. So there's different things that kick it in, right? And I got the little stuff down here. It says we operate for success with protocols and training for our students. We utilize time management and teach, inspire, and support the success of our students always. And I got to tell you, this has to be the credo. And if anyone is not getting this, we have a breakdown. That's where we go up. And I want to talk about the 2-up process. I'm going to come back to that. We are a family. We help each other always. Each instructor is expected to guide and help any and all students. That's why we have shared time. We do all this stuff. You guys, our instructor core helps just without worry of the compensation, how everything works. We all are in this big utopian process, and that's how it works. And our top leadership, it's amazing. The higher they're up in the leadership, the more they involve themselves in to help carry the load. And that's how this happens, right? Now, I'm gonna go over some stuff on here. We have some rules that make this work. And I'm going to go over all that just so we're growing and developing together. I have what's called the 2-up process. So Melissa, you're in the seat. Do you know what I'm going to do? Hold on. We got to do this.
Yes.
Do you know, I'm treating you just like Niall now. You get no notice. We just go into it.
Boy.
And I really, where's my thing at? Let's see. There we go.
I have gotten better about flying by the seat of my pants. I still panic a little bit, but I've gotten way better.
You are way better. Let's see. Let's go to this. We'll go to this one. Oh, hold on. I gotta fix it.
The thing I realized, you guys, while he's fixing that, is everybody's gone through it. Like, nobody here is judging you. We're all just cheering you on. Whether you're saying the right thing or whether you totally mess up what you were going to say, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We still love you.
I remember the first time Melissa got on calls and and had a bunch of people listening. There's probably about 45 people that went, "Oh my God, she's amazing," and then she's talking about how she was shaking. We all feel that way about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So I want to go over this 2-up process. So Melissa, what's our 2-up process?
If you go to your instructor and you're not getting a hold of them, go up
Correct.
to their
And
instructor.
everybody should know who their instructor's instructor is,
Yes.
or who the leader is above that, which would be the upline CSI, GSI, PSI, MSI, and you should know who all those steps are. So if you're attending study halls, you should know, oh, that's my MSI, that's my PSI, that's my GSI, because the way this is built, it's not like corporate America. And I say that because a lot of people were raised in corporate America where there's like management. You can't go above your manager's head. We don't have managers. It doesn't run that way. We have leadership that's all in place to help you do as much as you want to do, is go as big as you want to go. There should never ever feel like there's weight on top of you stopping you from going somewhere. And we know that, again, back to the human side of things. But if and this is part of the development we deal, guys, if somebody wants to do more than you're allowing them to do, let your support team take over. Let them rise them up and give them the attention they need to help them do more. We all win. Everything is designed to win. Like if we have somebody that just really wants to get going and they want to just go at this full time, they want to work 8 to 12 hours a day to make the money come in quicker, to build things bigger, great. We're here to support every aspect of that. And I wanted you guys to hear it from me directly, right? This is what we do. We are raising intelligence levels on business. We are raising on how people are blogging. We're doing all sorts of aspects of the business here. And it does feel complex because complexities are what make this work. If it was easy, everyone would be doing this content marketing. But there's special things to it. Not just that, a lot of secret in the sauce. There's a lot of technology that we have that other people just don't have. And we're constantly conquering the technology game so that everybody here doesn't have to worry about it. We just got to train you how to use it. But as you're developing and building, you might want to make more money and work more aggressively than your instructor. Happens a lot, actually. That's great. That's why we have the 2-up process. And, if your instructor's doing this part-time, that's great. Thankfully, they got you connected, they got you going, but you can go above them to the support team to get going bigger for your business. Everybody wins. And I want to make sure that you guys hear that. And that is the tone of that entire core value, is to allow that to happen. We love everyone. We're going to work with every student regardless. And we have instructors that run study halls, our leadership that runs study halls, and most of them allow anybody to come into them if it's a better timing, whatever else. I have students that go to other people's all the time because Thursday works better than Wednesday. They like the Tuesday one. That's what this is all about. And I have a lot of people that come to mind that I help support other leaders with because my time works better for them. And that is vice versa with all the leadership here. And it's what we need to do to help give people the skills and the understanding. And I'm going to focus on this, and I want you guys to write this down. I want everybody here to write this down. I've said this before. I'm going to be a broken record on it. And I'm waiting. You guys should always come here with pen and paper. Usually every Tuesday meeting, there's going to be one thing that you're going to take away from it that's going to make your next days go better. Shout out to Lakeisha. You need to follow up with me. I want to know where things are at. Okay. I'm going to go through this. There are 3 specific skill sets that you learn here, that you need to learn here in order to win here. There's 3. And you need to understand what those are so that you're focusing on them. Okay. And it doesn't matter the order. They're all 3 necessary. So the first one is the art of the conversation, or what I call the art of the BRT. So the art of building relationship and trust, and it's really the art of the conversation. You need to know how to to have a proper conversation with somebody. Now, I'm going to stress, most everybody that comes in this program, they weren't taught how to communicate properly. Now, if you're older, you might have learned it in school. They used to teach it, but they haven't taught it for like 40 years, maybe 30. Hey, I got a little bit of it, and that's a little bit, but then they just wiped it out. And you got to think about it. We have these dang phones, and we learn how to do two-way communication, but it's not expression, Phil. It's definitely no tonology to it. It's a different type of communication. I mean, the art of communication is where I'm actually listening and genuinely caring about what that person has to say on the other side of the phone or the other side of the Zoom. The art of the BRT, building relationship and trust. It is a skill set. And Melissa, how long do you think it took you to get really good at the BRT process?
A long time, because I was so shy. I was one to just fold if somebody said something to me. I was just like, okay, fine, goodbye. It took a while, but it is so important, because people, when they feel heard and cared for, they respond so much better.
And the sad thing is, when we have that conversation with the new student coming in and we do the BRT, we're generally you should be wanting to know who this person is. You're looking to, you're looking to invest time, energy, emotions, and really care about somebody. You want to know who they are. And if they're not a fit, it's okay. I tell everybody, like, if they're not a fit here, it's okay to tell them they're not. Like, we don't need everybody to come in. We want the right people on the team. And unfortunately, we don't really know how somebody is until they show up or don't show up, right? But the conversation, if it goes well, we want to go forward. And that's what we're doing. Like, you should genuinely care what they have to say. Take it in, listen. And the ability to do that and just be a loving human being sets you apart from the rest of the world they deal with. And it's an amazing skill set. And so I'm going to I'll spell this out. The art of the BRT is one of the best things we could ever teach anybody, regardless of the rest of the business. Because if you know how to communicate, which is listening more than you talk, starting off with that, it helps your family relationships. It helps your friend relationships. It makes you a better person, and life just gets easier. It's nice. Okay, the second one, not in any order, but then that next one is going to be the art of the performance blogging system. It's the art of, again, it's another communication thing, because that PBS is a communication platform, right? And I've really, I've stressed this more and more, and I had this epiphany. I was in Vegas, and I was meeting with a bunch of really cool marketing minds, and I can't remember, it came up as it was a Benjamin Franklin quote, and I was like, man, that guy was so amazing. He created the printing press, right? Like, before that, I mean, things had to be copied manually. And he created this printing press, so now the newspaper can be distributed to everybody. They can get the word out on ink, on paper, to the masses, right? And it can be carried easily, on the train, whatever. I mean, they were getting it all everywhere. I mean, how fascinating was that? But at the same time, only those that could afford to get it printed, or those that controlled the printing press, got the right messages out, right? It was controlled. So then we look at what we have today here in 2025. We got an amazing content platform of blogging that we get to be the publishing press. We don't have to copy it onto paper. There's no trees hurt in our transactions that I'm aware of, other than, I don't know, maybe making some power, but very few trees hurt in this process. And there's no presses running. It's all on the internet. And we have a way to publish it and distribute it through the search engine networks if we properly index and do what we need to do as vetted publishers. And it's pretty powerful when you look at that. But the art of the PBS is how to be a performance blogger, how to utilize the blogging platform to write things in the right way so that it can be seen and shared by more and more people, right? There's an art to it. And it's something we teach nonstop, and the rules kind of change from time to time. If Google puts a bunch of new things in place, that affects every one of us. That's why there's constant things we do. And one of the biggest, updates we've done was getting rank math set up for everybody so that we had a better indexing system. You guys, it got rid of a lot of things that actually had cost to them, bigger costs. We're constantly going to be teaching you guys on this. I'm going to come back to that in a second. The third, not in this order, but the third one to bring up is the art, and I'm going to call it the art of the RRR247 businesses, which is understanding how we get compensated, how your team gets compensated, what areas to focus on and maximize for the most pay for the work we're doing. So I'll just call it the art of understanding the business, right? What we get paid on, what we should be focusing on. And those are the three skill sets. And they're all complicated by themselves, but once you get those down, you've got everything you need to literally become a millionaire here with everything in place. I mean, the number one business reason for failure is lack of knowledge, know-how, and capital and marketing. I can say it over and over again. It's what it is. And we provide the knowledge because we have it. We provide the know-how because we have it. And we provide the capital and the marketing because we know this all works. And because of the way this was built as a community, we make money when you all make money. The system feeds itself, and we literally created a way to fund the growth and the marketing for the entire RRR247 family. I don't know anybody else on the planet that does it. We run this like we're a big company like a Coca-Cola. We run this because we figured out how to solve marketing first. If there's one thing I've done right in my business life, is learn that if you control the leads and you can manage the marketing, the rest of the business will fall in place. If I can handle the one thing that destroys any business, I can make anything work. You can fix a problem with the product. You can fix a problem with distribution. You can fix a fee. You can't fix marketing when it's broken, or it's non-existent, or it costs way too much and you don't have the wherewithal to do it. So we had a plan, we had a vision, we put things in motion, and things kicked in. When we had the right things to market and everything was gelling with the right things really took off. That was 2018. It is 2025, folks. 7 years later, almost to the day. It was the first quarter 2018 is when we were like, okay, we can fund the marketing now. Things changed then. Up until that point, we were trying to figure it out. We were going through it. You guys, I'll put this in this appreciation. The way this system is today is by far better than it's ever been. We keep improving it. And it doesn't build itself. We still got to apply things. And thank goodness, right? If this could all be mechanically done, or I guess through a computer system, there'd be no need for us to do things. I don't know what else we'd be doing, right? But I'll tell you this, because high touch is necessary. That's what we're doing. We're the art of communication, the conveyance of an idea is why we're in marketing. And that's truly what marketing is. Marketing is truly just pure freedom of communication done properly to get people to understand what you have to offer or what you can benefit their life with. It's a conveyance of an idea. So Melissa, those three core areas, right? Now you see why I've been always focused. And how do I explain it to some? But how long did it take you to figure out the PBS?
It took me a minute. I sucked at computers, and number one, when I started this, so it was a whole learning experience. Like, it's an education, like 100%. It took me a while.
And then what about understanding how we get paid in Bella Vita?
Oh yeah, yes, because my brain doesn't understand comp plans very well. I have to hear it 3 million times before I start to get it. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, now it makes total sense, but it's so perfect now. It's so streamlined.
You've been with us as we, went from different product sets to different product sets, and when things worked and then they didn't work, and we replaced it with something. But we built something that protected us, that we can always be trying new things and swap out when we have to. Now we got home runs we work with. Like, things are pretty freaking solid. But if you look at what I discovered, right? That pretty much summarizes it, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, in a nutshell, it makes it very simple to, like, even just writing it down tonight, like, I'm just like, oh, it's just so simple.
I finally had that epiphany of how to communicate what we do, right? And I've been stressing on it, right? And I wanted everybody to understand it, because, like, these are things you may not have learned anywhere else, most likely not. And so as you're pressing on it and learning this, just realize that's what you should be focusing on. So if you're learning the art of the PBS, you're learning the art of the BRT, you're learning the art of the business understanding, that's what you need to learn to really succeed here. And it's not going to happen in one day. I mean, even myself, just to explain it to you guys properly, has taken me a long time to figure out, how do I say this better? How do I know what it is, but I don't always have the way to convey it, even me. And I think about it, and I think about it, and then when the answer comes, I share with you. And this is something I've been wanting to share for I brought it up on some of the higher calls, but that's what it is, you guys. We have 3 key areas or key skill sets we got to learn. And and some people learn one faster than the other usually. You might be really good at math, and you might be really good at understanding the comp plans, and that all makes sense. And you're like, man, but I just don't understand the PBS and why it all ties in together. And that's totally understandable. But those are the 3 things. And I bring this up all the time. The PBS is the core, because that's technology that's working for us 24/7. That is our conveyance platform, and it ties in so much. And it is our future for things we don't even know are here yet. I mean, if you look at the PBS Vortex, which we didn't have until 4/20 of 2024, that was a bolt-on to that replaced all sorts of old tech before that. And that system's going to get even bigger, better, faster here soon. So I have 7 minutes, right? And then we're going to cut over to the Millionaire course. I'm going to cover a couple things in those 7 minutes. One is, just know there's a lot of things you need to learn through repetition. Melissa, I've been teaching you the BRT forever, and then it starts clicking in more and more. We do posture training. There's just a lot to understand, because you didn't learn this. And the thing about communication skills, they're kind of complex. I mean, if it was super easy, we would have a problem, right? But we have a problem. Look around the world. The number one issue is usually a communication issue. So it's not simple, right?
Yeah.
It's a problem globally, right? And then how to convey issues, right? And look at the problems you have in any type of relationship, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a partnership, whether it's a business, whether it's a client-vendor relationship. Communications are the crux of whether it makes it or breaks it. There are companies that do really good at communicating with their clients, and there's some that do a horrible job. There are some that are so freaking on it, right? And I have examples of companies I like to work with because of that, right? And we want to always be a better communication. That's what we are. We're marketers. We are communicators. Proper marketing is understand how to communicate so well you get the message through. And we know that in order to convey a message to somebody, we got to make sure that our message is answering every product in a way where we answer every possible problem or objection along the way of the messaging. It's getting it down. So I wanted to cover that today. I have something I'm going to let you guys know. Courses are coming really good. Okay, if you go look at the RRR247.com/RRR, that's where all the training steps have been. I'm in the process. It just takes time. I'm redoing every aspect of how to set up your PBS from the very beginning. And I'm going slow, or I'm going as slow as I can for me. to explain things in the page and the construction of it. And I think it's coming along. It's the best training we've ever had. And I want you guys to know it's going into a training course. So because I can't hold back, I want you guys to just know what's coming. Okay. So it's if you guys go look at the structure, it's there. You're going to see it kind of modify a little bit. Step one is all the anchor pages, right? And understanding the vortex. We bring up the IBO, which I have news on that, so I got to hustle. Okay. Step one. Step two is the rest of the pages that are outside of the main anchor pages. They're more the PBS vortex, the other things that we have. There's not a lot of those now. And in step two. Step three is changing the category pages. And I'm going to do every category page, the main one and the all things in one video each. So if somebody struggles with one category, there's a video for it. Okay. Then we go to step four, which is adding additional content. Additional content is where we're going to put everything, a lot of other trainings. We're going to load that up. And I'll state this here and I'll state it anywhere else. Before you apply for Google AdSense, you want to make sure you've added about 10 or more individual unique pages to your PBS. You're going to have a lot more things that are outside of what we all are doing. And by the way, I'm so impressed with the training direction we've gone. I mean, repetition is definitely the mother of all learning. The aspect of the training, so that's step four. Step 5 and 6. Step 5 and 6 are putting content out there. And then well, 6 is what I should pull it up. 6, I think, is Google AdSense, and then it's really on to a bunch more marketing things and social media marketing. You'll see the role in there. But you guys, this is all going to go into a course format where our students will get this course and they'll go through it methodically, one by one, marking it off before they go to the next one. Well, they won't be able to go to the next step until they finish step 1. They won't be able to finish step 1 until they do everything in order. This has been a wish list for me for years, and we have it. And Daniel's helping put this all together. We were on it for hours today, and in the step 7 on the SEO training, everybody in PBS Vortex is going to receive the first series of training for free. We have a professional doing the course training, but we're going to teach everybody how to do SEO so freaking well that you could turn into an SEO expert yourself. We're gonna teach everything about it, and we're learning from an expert that is so freaking good at it that he knows how to get it on the front page. He knows how to get all that stuff done, and there's definitely a trick to it. And I was going through his coursework. I know Sheila's already been going through it. It's impressive, guys. So we're stepping up the game, but I'm going to tell you what it means. We're going to show people how to make way more money than we were ever able to make in just the Google AdSense part of the PBS. So that as we're promoting and growing more traffic, the more eyeballs that are going through it, the more exposure we get to all the Bella Vita products, the more exposure we get to the Savings Highway Global program, the more exposure we get to our wine and everything else on the PBS Vortex. Traffic is king. And so if we can teach everybody how to do that aspect, but then I'm going to just bring this up in the V marketing, which we train on so freaking well, right? That drives traffic that's so relevant. It's helping everybody get targeted traffic, get recognized as an authority so that you can get the Google AdSense approval, get going, get that income stream coming in. And we're going to start celebrating all the Google AdSense, setups. So I got to get on that we're going to do that. So the first Tuesday is going to be the leadership celebration. The second Tuesday is going to be Google AdSense recognition. So we got to get all that done. And we're going to really focus on content. I told you guys we're going to do a lot more marketing on the Saturdays. It's just where things are at. It's just, you guys, this course thing is going to change the speed of getting a new student up and going. Those that want to run really fast, like a self-starter, they're going to be able to breeze through it. And if they get stuck anywhere, that's where the study halls come in, right? Because at the study hall, we got the experts there that can help them with any issue they're having. all the leadership have dealt with the issues. A lot of the leadership have been here so long, they dealt the issues before we had any type of this automation or anything. They figured this stuff out the hardcore way, which is like Melissa. Melissa didn't have a template to start with. I gave her a blank template, go build it like this, learn how to mess it up. And that was my belief then. I want everybody to be purists in blogging and HTML. I didn't want anybody to have any shortcut. And I'm so glad she stuck around. And you guys, and so, you know, I'm sure it's nice because she's like, if someone ever complains to her about building their systems, she's probably like, you have no idea what I had to do.
No mercy.
All right, IBO update. I was going to have Jim come on here today. I think he'll be on next Tuesday. And real quick, Monday is the Bella Vita call. Housekeeping really quick. Saturday, I'm gonna have an awesome training for you guys on content. We're making some big headway. There's a lot to do. 2 hours just goes by so quick. IBOs, we had to slow things down. We have a lot of slots available, but we had to slow down for some other procedures that Jim wanted to put in place, and it's just to keep up with what we see as foreseeable problems to get rid of them. And so he's like, Rory, I gotta get this done. And I think he's about done, ready. And he's gonna start reaching out to everybody individually and get things going again. So next Tuesday, we'll have a full update. I'll have Jim on to talk about it. So everybody, as far as instructors, if they're on that list, keep them on the list, add new people to the list. We're gonna get those gears going again in a really strong way. And we just had to get some other systems in place, and we didn't want to overrun it. And so Jim made that call, and I said, hey, whatever you feel like you got to do, you're the one that's in charge of all this. So he'll come on next Tuesday, and I think we're ready to start ramping up again. And everybody that's in order it's going to be by that order. So we'll just give everybody heads up. We're going to start putting those notifications out there, and then I'm going to have him put notice to. I think we're going to do that spreadsheet. If there's people we can't get a hold of, we're going to put an alert on there with the date so that the instructors and the leadership know that we're trying to get a hold of this person to get them going and hopefully make the connections happen better. That's one of the biggest problems we've had is people aren't responding and we're like, well, we saved a spot. Now we're going to go give to this next person. We want to get that a little bit more streamlined as well. So there's some housekeeping that's been happening the last probably 6 weeks. Some back office staff had to be retrained. We had to get some new people back there as well. Jim's been on all that. All right, so that was the update on the IBO, and I'll see everybody on the Millionaire course. Now, let me talk about that real quick. If you're doing B marketing, I need you to come to the Millionaire course and check in and log in your time and your accountability for what you're doing. If you don't have a PBS, that's great. Work on getting one the next week, but it's really good to be accountable on your time, right? And it also lets your instructor team know, like, oh my gosh, Mary's putting in 20 hours a week and she's not getting a PBS cell. Mary probably needs more help on the BRT and the processes because we know that's where it's at. And guys, the best way to learn this stuff is just jump in the freaking water and swim. It's very forgiving. We know you're going to mess up. We expect you to mess up. That's how we learn, right? We failed forward. And I know we're going to push your comforts with a loving smile and a nice grip to catch you. That's how it goes. That's how it goes here. All right. I'll see you guys on the Millionaire course. If you're doing V marketing, do the Millionaire course. Again, get registered on the sheet, be accountable. The power of accountability is everything. We will let ourselves down. But see, this is all team involvement. And if you're starting to log that in and be accountable, watch how it makes things work for you better. There's so many studies about this, and I'll bring it up there, but I'll tell you, a husband and a father will work far harder than a single man will ever work because he's got a lot more mouths to feed and people that rely on him. And I know that as a man and as a father, as a grandfather, as a brother, I get it. And I know that a mother will work harder than a single woman ever because commitment and you got other people relying on you. You'll let yourself down, but you're not going to let those kids down. And this is why accountability is so important because you guys, we all work as a team. We all thrive as a team. When we bring people into our teams and work with them, we win when they win. But in order to help them win, we got to focus on what? The art of the BRT, art of communication, art of the PBS, how to build that platform, and the art of the businesses, how to understand how we get paid and how it all works. All that has to happen for everyone. It's a system, not a suggestion. All right. See you guys on that. Love you guys and see you on the next training. But Millionaire Course, everyone doing B marketing. See you there. And you know where to go. It's your instructor call.